Seminal Reading Week has been life-changing, and it has made me rethink and think about things that I never knew in a different way. We've had experiences who has read content that is really deep.
Learning at ALU really starts with why. Our whole learning model is really predicated on this question, why am I here and why am I learning this material? Yeah? Seminal Readings fits within that broader picture by really driving into that question, into that why question, and we do it in two ways. Seminal Readings focuses on one, really building and scaffolding critical thinking skills, both text analysis, as well as providing texts that provoke questions about themes and questions that are really relevant to what students are going through.
It's really dense, and they're touching on very sensitive issues that you need to look at very deeply. And doing that within 4 days, 8 texts in 4 days, has been a bit exhausting, but at the same time mentally challenging, and it's exciting because each day we get to come and discuss them.
I was amazed as how the people who actually came up with these readings actually found these people, because I've never read anyone apart from Chimamanda.
She's made me see things in a different way about how I perceive people, and even with how my language affects the kind of person I am, because I used to think, oh, my identity was all about my origins and my tribe and where I come from, but then I got to realize, no, there's actually a lot to me. Even being in ALU is an identity.
Reading basic books, we're reading books based on philosophy, based on things that we could connect to, based on African history.
So the way that this ties into the overall learning model is that we're really focused on developing the high-level meta skills that we think are essential for any leader to be effective. And one of the most important ones is critical thinking. It comes to bear on everything else that a student does. And so for these weeks when we have seminal readings, critical thinking is woven throughout our curriculum, but this is the time to say we're really going to go really deep in critical thinking.
One tangible learning outcome that I really wanted to see with the seminar readings was for students to always argue using text. And initially they didn't do that, but today they were doing it, and I was so happy. They would say, oh yeah, we should go back on this page and this page, they say this. That's really good.
The second goal and aspiration of Seminal Readings Week is really to leave having grappled with difficult questions that are meaningful and relevant to you. Right?
These seminal readings have helped me know that it's okay to be uncomfortable with in whatever case, and it's okay not to know the answers to everything. What matters the most is not being too rigid to consider what the next person has, but always question where you stand, just so that you can accommodate another perspective.
We worked on putting together this whole series of readings and discussion settings, but the students then latched onto the idea and have produced all of these additional learning experiences. They've created these learning circles where they come together and read these texts out loud and discuss them before they even get in the room with their facilitators. There's been a student film festival going on around this theme of identity. And so rather than it just being us inviting them into these experiences that we've created, they're also inviting us into the experiences that they've created. I think a lot of times the way that we participate in education is, the common day-to-day. But some of the most profound learning happens in these signature experiences that are really unique and special. And when I look at what we've created, I think Seminal Readings is a signature experience that's going to be a defining experience of attending ALU.